This is We R Podcast, the only show where we talk about what we want to talk about. We R Podcast, let the ice house flow. We R Podcast, it's an internet talkie show. We R Podcast, you know the mouse knows. We R Podcast, so look up an episode and now let's start the show.
So Phil, the Halloween's coming up. Any ideas for costumes we should probably do for the Halloween Spooktacular We Are Podcast? Halloween Thank Your Soul Podcast? I don't know, we'll think of a better name later.
I don't know, maybe we should dress up as old grannies.
Do American Gothic. Except for it'll be two bearded old people instead of one bearded old man and one bearded old lady.
You can be the old lady and I can be the oven and I'll eat them.
I think that's Hansel and Gretel.
Hell yeah. I didn't hear anything about that movie. That goes straight to DVD.
Oh, you're talking about
Something's Wrong with Nana. That one.
The Visit.
Yeah, that one.
From M. Night Shyamalan Manas.
Would you mind crawling into the oven and getting this for me?
No.
It's like, no.
Well, I haven't seen the movie myself, but they play that up a little more in the trailer. It's not really like when me and you first saw it, we never talked. I don't think we ever talked about the trailer on the show, but it looked like they were trying to do a found footage version of Hansel and Gretel.
Right, I heard that.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, Hansel and Gretel, their parents literally can't feed them, so they're like, here's a bag of bread, go walk in the fucking woods and figure it out. And Hansel and Gretel figure, our mommy and dad will take us back later, so they leave a breadcrumb trail from where they left, and then they find a gingerbread house. And there's a witch in there that intends on eating them. Witches, climb into the end. Spoilers for those people that don't know the story of Hansel and Gretel. Hansel and Gretel figure it out and they push the witch into the oven rather than getting pushed into the oven themselves.
Yep, I remember.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, pretty fucked up considered a fucking children's story. Where a fucking old woman gets burned to death. But granted, she was trying to eat children to begin with, so...
That's true, but witches are bad anyway.
Well, sometimes it's just an old woman that likes eating people.
That's true.
The stories your great-great-grandparents grew up on. I like to eat people. No wonder why Texas Chainsaw Massacre is so popular.
I like to eat them a lot.
I like to spread them with honey and shove apple cores and parts you don't want to know about. Unless you want one.
Things you ain't even heard of, you see.
Now see, there was a big black thing boogie-woogieing through the trees and it was eating kitties.
No!
What the fuck? See, but that's why I keep the mic on. I fucked that up. But, good job. Oh, I feel I ruined the gag. But, Movie Bob on YouTube, he's on the Screw Attack channel now, and doubletoasted.com. Also follow them on SoundCloud. There's a movie review website that I follow, and they did reviews on that movie. And it's not really a Hansel and Gretel thing. It's kind of this... Spoilers if you care about The Visit. It's kind of they play up the old thing that, old people are just cray-cray. Old people are crazy. And every time you say, my grandma, grandma's acting weird, she wanted me to crawl into an oven, she's running around naked, and she's laughing at walls and shit. Oh, she's just old.
Acting a fool.
Yeah, she's acting weird. No, she's just old. But then you find out that they're escaped mental patients that pretend to be in grandparents for some reason. I don't know. What a twist! You know, M. Night Shyamalan. What a twist! God damn it.
She says, you're not keeping me out of the podcast.
I am a part of the show. Fuck you.
We're naming it the Kittler Cast.
I don't think we should name it.
Yeah, we're not. Edit point.
Unless we want a lot more...
That knows when he hears that, edit.
Yeah, I was saying, unless we want a lot more white supremacist viewers or something.
Get some of them neon. Just kidding.
Yeah, I was say no.
Let's not.
I guess we should say it. Kittler's an all-gray cat. That's why I call her Kittler. Get it? It's fun. I'm being ironic. I'm being hipster. I'm going to hell. But I'm not supporting Hitler at all. I was just being an asshole about it. Because, you know, Kittlers are those mostly white cats that have that little mustache.
Yeah.
I don't know what the breed. I guess, yeah, that's the correct word. Yeah, because I don't know the breed of my cat, but it's an all-gray cat, and I thought I'd be funny by calling it Kittler. Because it's not the all-white cat with the Hitler mustache, it's just an all-gray cat. I've had her since she was 2 days old. She was street kitty. I saved this cat's life.
Righteous, man.
She's got all of her shots and everything. And like I said, Phil, well, I think I edited this part out, but the first 3 episodes, she would just go into the other room and lie down on my bed. But ever since then, she just wants to be in the show, and I have to cut her out. So, there, you didn't get your mention on episode 20, the big celebration. You get it on 21. There, you happy? I'm holding her and petting her the whole time while I've been saying this, by the way. I wasn't trying to be racist, neither my kid. I was being ironic, I swear.
She says it's astounding.
Yeah, she's a big old baby. She just wants to be held. You're paying more attention to that mic than you are to me. Yeah. See, Phil, this is why I don't need kids. I already got a big one right here.
The astonishing kitty cat.
Amazing Fantasy 15, the Astonishing Kittler. That's a whole nother book.
An awesome book.
Excelsior! Goldfinger!
Sooner or later, your arm's gonna get tired, Matt.
Well, I'm in a rotating chair, Phil, right now. Phil, go pretend like there's 15 guards behind my front door. Pretend like you killed them, kicking my door so I can do the big turnaround. Granted, Goldfinger's cat was white, but whatever. Meow, 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 meow. So, Phil, any big breakdowns on Facebook since last episode?
Not really as of lately. Not much. I mean, besides the group turning 1 year old a couple days ago, I had a post Burger King fiery chicken fries that I used to celebrate with it. I got a couple votes, but not as much as I hoped for, but we still got that up, and I thanked a couple top taggers, a couple people that post at the group, and all my triple OG big time budsters that put thanks out to the group and stuff like that. But the Earth One for You too, Overlord Tank Squad has officially been on Facebook for 1 year now, so it's officially 1 year old. And it goes apart.
Woo!
Hell yeah, we did it. We made it. Waited for it forever. We finally made it.
Wait till that We R Podcast. You're one. Six Pack's gonna unload that nuke he's been talking about.
They're waiting.
I told you not to mention that. Don't worry about it.
Fishing.
Glug, 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 glug.
Glug, glug, glug. Two.
Oh, he does like Rick from Rick and Morty. He pulls out a little flask like, I told you not to mention that. Morty!
He pulls out a flask and it's got chicken wing goo in it.
Oh.
He's sick. Just kidding.
About to say, considering you're talking about chicken wing goo now, I guess we might as well talk about, Cooties now, right?
Hell yeah.
So, it was Elijah Wood, and who was the guy from fucking, The Office? The one that had the gym coach that had the, baseball gun? He was in that fucking,
The Backstrom guy?
Yeah, Backstore.
I don't know his name.
Yeah, me either. What was that movie he did? The Crimson Collar or whatever? Or, Super something? Remember his girlfriend left him for a heroin dealer? He became the Crimson something and started hitting people in the face with a pipe wrench?
The Crimson Red?
That's why I told you put the tablet on charge.
Yeah, I think it's the Crimson Red.
It's something like that. Crimson something? Crimson Cowl?
You're talking about the one, where the girl was like, that's
Shh! Shut up, crime!
Yeah, it was that one.
Yeah,
She
when
was
I
like,
didn't have...
That's what you get for messing with the Crimson Red and Bolty, motherfuckers. That one.
Yeah, when I didn't have...
I think it's the Crimson Red. I think that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, when I didn't have cable and I told you to download a bunch of shit for me.
Yeah, I think that's what you're talking about. That's gotta be it.
Yeah, hold on. Let me look it up and we'll talk about it.
Oh, was it the Crimson Bolt? Maybe?
Yes!
The Crimson Bolt and Bolty?
Yeah, Crimson Bolt
Okay,
and Bolty.
that's what it is. Crimson Bolt and Bolty. So it was the Crimson Bolt trailer then.
Yeah.
Knew it was Crimson something else.
Yeah, who the hell's the guy that's the Crimson Bolt? That's what we were talking about.
Oh, it's called Super.
Oh, Super.
Yep, the movie was called Super. That's why we can't get it.
Right.
But yeah, there it is. It's at the top. Super.
Yeah, what was the name of the guy, though? That's what we're trying to look up.
Crimson Bolt.
No, the actor.
Oh, the actor?
Yeah, I probably shouldn't
I
try.
didn't look up the actor.
I want that on a t-shirt. And, Rainn Williams? I don't know, the parkour guy from the fucking Office. Fuck it, I'm done. Well, actually, I don't mean to say I'm done, because actually, we played the Super trailer. I actually really like him in that movie. He's in the movie we're going to talk about now, Cooties, with, what's Frodo's name again?
Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood, who's actually the executive producer on this movie, too. Because I guess after Frodo, he realized I got to start getting behind the scenes because I ain't getting no other jobs. Even though I guess you can kind of say he was kind of the main star of this.
Like, well, you got to keep acting to keep sharp. You got to keep up with everything.
Got to get your name out there, son.
Yep. You can't just expect it all to come back to you. You got to practice.
It's not like riding a bike. It's like riding a horse. Once you fall off, you got to get back on. Listen here, 1930s manager guy.
Oh, you gonna learn how to dance.
What is John Tapper doing in here? I'd have him out there shaking his ass on a pole! You making drinks? Okay. Now with that, whatever that was, out of the way, back to the review of the movie Cooties, which stars Rainn Wilson and Elijah Wood. And I guess I'll give a brief synopsis of the film. I can't remember any of the characters' names. We're just gonna make up names. I don't even care no more because we've gone so far off the rails. Whatever. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Even though it's not live, I'm recording it and I can look it up later, but I don't want to re-edit it. Whatever. We'll do it live. But Elijah Wood pretends like he's a big time. Well, not like a big time. Like he went to New York and he's trying to write a book. And he came back to his hometown to focus on his writing while he would doing substitute teacher work for money on the side, I guess.
Yeah.
And he shows up, and one of the teachers is his. I don't know. He liked that girl. I don't know. In elementary, he went to that school, and he came back. He specifically, you find this out later, but he specifically came back to that school to meet that girl. And Rainn Wilson is the gym coach, who kind of seems like Coach McGurk from Whole Movies. Remember him?
Yes, I remember him.
Yeah.
He's funny.
Yeah, he's my favorite gym coach of all time, Phil. Phil, he gave me the best piece of advice I've ever gotten from anyone. Why do anything if you're not automatically good at it?
That's true. Fantastic.
Don't ever exceed for anything, kids. I'm just kidding. Reach for the stars, grab a star, and hit someone in the face with it that said you couldn't do it, is what I say. And then while you're doing that, give them a finger with one hand and jack off in their face with the other. Wait, what?
That's gorgeous. Ah, what the heck?
Yeah, and if you can also sync your phone up to play the Super Mario Star song, while you're doing it, go for it. We keep going off the rails.
It's a glorious.
It's a glorious jizz job. Mamma mia! Oh!
It's Jizz Bop the game. Oh!
That's Splatoon, Phil. God damn it. But anyways. Alright, yeah. Well, I guess this is kind of a spoiler, but you see how the chicken that gets processed for the chicken nuggets for the school gets made, and they show fly larvae and larvae and flies pooping on the chicken that get grind up into what are chicken nuggets, and they literally show head and feet getting thrown in there. And Phil, I love chicken nuggets, but at the same time, every time I eat one, I think this is probably beak. But that's what makes sweet and sour sauce so sweet.
Something nasty.
Nah. It's the part of the chicken you don't want to know about. Hey. But yeah. But even though they show the infected chicken nugget, which has big black strips on it. But anyways. Let's try not to get too spoilery. Other than that, it's there's an infected chicken nugget. It gets fed to a girl, and they're not necessarily. There's a chicken nugget with obviously black infected. It doesn't look good. Like even if you, there's a couple things where this thing kind of falls apart when you think about horror movies. But why would you eat a chicken nugget that has like black veins in it? You know, they look like black veins.
Yeah, and she didn't even look at it first before she ate it.
Yeah, and she just straight up. Yeah, she just straight up eat it.
Look at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was gross.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, plus the way that they showed that chicken's. Phil, I love me some chicken nuggets. I love chicken breast, but the way they made chicken look that it's made, it's. Phil, if I actually had to kill my own meat to eat it, I'd probably be a vegetarian because that shit's fucking nasty.
Yeah, you are kind of right about being a vegetarian about that because it does take some work to do. Since you gotta kill the animal, capture it, then
string it up,
then clean it, then
cut it,
dry it out after you cook it, and all that stuff. It's pretty savage now that you think of it.
It's a lot easier when it's just in a red chunk given in a plastic bag. Yeah. So good for you, PETA. Yes.
Hey, if you want to eat meat, you're gonna have to learn how to do it.
That's what I'm saying. Like I couldn't. Like I said, if I had to clean and process my own meat, I'd probably be a vegetarian because I don't think I could do that shit.
It takes some time.
Well, not only that would take some time. I'm not into stabbing thing. In a fit of rage, I might be into stabbing things. For the most part, I'm not into stabbing things. I don't want to. We'll just cut the review kind of short because I don't really want to spoil it because it's. The kids get infected by this infected chicken, and there's a lot of chicken puns in there too. Like the school's called or the town's called Fort Chicken. The chicken or the secretary is called Mrs. Tyson. You know, Tyson Chicken.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of chicken puns in here. But
I can't believe I didn't notice that.
yeah, it starts off as like a horror comedy. You know, because like, oh, and plus, Phil, I guess the one thing we should say, there's something so satisfying about seeing a horror movie where people just straight up deck or clothesline a kid in a horror movie. Because in horror movies, for the most part, that's one reason why I like talking about horror movies that we find. Oh, I didn't mention this, that this was on my on-demand. You can find it. It did get a theater release nowhere near us, so I didn't even matter, but you can get it on you can get it on Amazon. I'm pretty sure you can probably get it on iTunes. It's well worth whatever I don't want to say what we paid for it, just in case the prices are different. But for the little I paid for it, it's definitely, we drank a couple beers, watched this. It definitely takes a lot from Night of the Living Dead, too. I don't want to say it's a parody of Night of the Living Dead, but it definitely takes a lot of the cues from that and runs with it, you know?
I agree.
Yeah, you know how characters seem one way, and then they're... And that's the other thing, too. A horror movie that has character development is fucking super rare.
That's true.
You know? Like I said, I always support with my dollar. I give this, I guess, I give it a full price, consider what I paid for it, which I don't want to say, but under $5. But for that price, if you can see it in theaters, that might even be great because we didn't get to see it on big screen. We just watched it on demand. If my on demand company wants to give me a sponsorship and tell me to review things, I always give my honest review, but I'm not going to say who we bought it from. But we bought it from that person for under $5, and that was $5 well spent, I thought. What do you think?
I like the idea. I thought it was a glorious movie, and I actually liked how how in the movie there was a big part where the infected children were going through scratching people, and it was actually spreading the disease.
Oh, I didn't mention that, yeah.
They don't keep that in a lot of movies now.
Well, they're not undead. They're like raid zombies to begin with, because they still show some kind of cognitive thought, you know?
Right, those scratches were spreading the disease.
Yeah.
Actually, I really did like the movie. I thought it was really classic, how they did the infection from the chicken nugget, and how it happened to reach a high school with a bunch of students in it.
Elementary school.
Actually, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was worth the full price if you're looking for that type of action. I thought it was classic. The chicken nugget reaching an elementary school and infecting them and leaving these teachers trapped inside it. It was a really good movie.
Had a Night of the Living Dead vibe to it, right?
Oh yeah, it had a little bit of the Night of the Living Dead vibe to it. I would give it a full price. I actually liked it a lot. I didn't think I had any problem with it at all.
Yeah, I guess you'd be honest with you. I didn't really have any problems with it either. Well, the only problems I really did have with it, remember, is, oh, well, you corrected me on this. Remember the power is out, and they're trying to put $1 into the vending machine?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Well, hold on. This is spoiler. Well, we're getting into spoiler territory now. But remember, a character that has gone through puberty and not infected is diabetic and needs sugar.
Yeah.
And they sneak into the teacher's lounge.
I remember.
Yeah. And then they try to put $1 into the vending machine, but it's not working right. And I said, why don't they just smash that fucking vending machine open? But that would just draw the zombies to them, right?
Yeah, exactly. And plus it would echo down the hallway.
Yeah. But there's no power in the building at that point. So there'd be no power to the vending machine, right?
Blooper. Because they're plugged in.
The vending machine's got a generator.
Oh, guess I didn't think of that at the time, but you're right.
But if you want to nitpick any horror movie, you got shit like that all the time. Hold on. Phil, now that the superhero movie properties are starting to get overblown, you know, we got the Captain America Civil War, the Infinity Gauntlet, and I'm looking forward to Netflix Punisher versus Daredevil.
Hell yeah. Glorious.
Yeah. Fist pump. But what do you think the bubble's going to burst just like it did in the 90s? You know? Like comic books were big for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Then Rob Liefeld came in and created Youngblood, and Tom McFarlane created Spawn. The bane of my existence, Spawn. When we're finally scraping the bottom of the barrel, characters, what character do you want to see? Phil, as someone that is not as big as a comic book fan that I am, I would like to hear what if the comic book character, most obscure character that you would like to see made into a movie and or TV show. Mm-hmm. Just a character you like that you would like to see exposed in live action.
I'd like to see a Silver Surfer movie. That's a generic choice.
That's not generic. You have the problem that Fox owns the Fantastic Four, which means they also own the rights to the Silver Surfer and Galactus. And Phil, you know you can't do a Silver Surfer movie without having Galactus in it.
That's true.
So you're kind of caught up in legal limbo.
That's true.
That kind of sucks too. To be honest with you, I would like to see, the Guardians of the Galaxy. If Guardians of the Galaxy 2 had Silver Surfer in it, show up in it, and say, you have to help me solve blah blah blah. That'd be fucking badass, right?
That's true.
Yeah, and Drax calls him a pussy, and Silver Surfer just waves his hand over and fucking throws him through a wall or something. Phil, we should be the head of fucking DC.
That'd be good.
Yeah, we should be the head. Like I said, Patton Oswalt is one of my favorite comedians of all time, but Patton Oswalt is the Mole Man. Come on, it writes itself.
He's fat.
Well, because he's fat and short. But Patton Oswalt's also been... actually, he does a lot of fucking voices for Disney as it is. He's one of the bad guys on Kim Possible. He's one of the mini Nutions from Gravity Falls, whenever we do that podcast. Mm-hmm. When it's finished, I swear, if it gets an ending, we'll do it. But yeah. Oh yeah, I was trying to pitch myself as a... Yeah, no, yeah. I can't, I'm trying to pitch myself as a Marvel writer, I can't even fucking keep on track.
Ha ha ha.
Ha ha ha. But right, Phil, like I said, at the same time, like, let me just pitch my Fantastic... I hinted at it, but here's my Fantastic Four movie pitch. It's the Mole Man. Patton Oswalt is the Mole Man. And he's a short, stubby little fuck. That's what he is. And that's Patton Oswalt. Sorry, I love Patton Oswalt, but put Patton Oswalt and the Mole Man next to each other, and you can see what I'm talking about. I feel so shitty because I love Patton Oswalt as a comedian saying that about him. But you have Patton Oswalt going to the same college where Doom. That's the thing. Everyone went to the same college. Doom, Sue and Johnny Storm, Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, and Ben Grimm all went to the same college together. And Dr. Doom, from what I've read for the most part, was always like the weird man out. You know, that's why it's called the Fantastic Four instead of the Fantastic Five. If it would have been the Fantastic Five, Phil, this would be a whole different fucking universe.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, Marvel. Hey, I would hashtag that, Phil. Fantastic Five with Dr. Doom join the team. Whatever. But like I said, back to my pitch. Like I always saw it as is like, of course, obviously those four made friends. Dr. Doom kind of came off as the weirdo, so they quit talking to him. But the one person that would talk to the weirdo, the odd man out, was the Mole Man. I can't remember his real name. And Dr. Doom was always into science and sorcery. And he, because for those of you that don't know the Mole Man's history, the Mole Man is hey Phil, we kind of fit into this, right? Short, fat, stubby, weird-looking guy that people don't like. So he went to the center of the earth and took over a bunch of giant monsters. But here's how I'm going to switch it up. Dr. Doom realized that he was getting pushed out of the Fantastic Five and it was becoming the Fantastic Four. So Dr. Doom's always into sorcery in my head. And he knew about monsters that lived in the center of the earth. So he gives the Mole Man some kind of device that lets him control monsters at the center of the universe. Ooh. And he has a device, like Central. Central is pretty much from The Impossibles, the Pixar Disney movie. Central is pretty much Dr. Doom in that. And I guess I'm ripping off that storyline. Central is Dr. Doom. He gives someone a device that lets him control the monsters, but the device falls apart. He gives the Mole Man the device that controls the monsters, and then the Mole Man loses control of the monsters, and Dr. Doom shows up to become the hero, right? And he's starting to take over the monsters, but the device that lets him control the monsters breaks, and then the Fantastic Four has to come in and stop the monsters, right? And then, while Dr. Doom realizes that he fucked up, retreats, he goes back to Latveria and takes over his country, goes back to the castle of Latveria, and finds more enchantments, more science, technology, crazy shit. Right? Set up for a sequel. Marvel, Fox, whoever. I just pitched a better Fantastic. I keep pitching better Fantastic Four movies every other week, and no one ever calls me. But Phil, wouldn't you rather see that than the fucking last Fantastic Four movie that came out?
Flopperific. They've all flopped.
Yeah. Well, you know that Fox said that they don't care that the Fantastic Flop failed. They're still doing Fantastic Flop 4.
I know.
Phil, didn't I just pitch you a better
Fantastic 5?
Well, technically it's Floptastic 4 too. But didn't I just pitch you a better Fantastic Four movie? I have sorcery, giant monsters, family drama. That's what pisses me off about the Fantastic Four franchise. Like, there's so much you could do with that. Like, Dr. Doom is one of the greatest characters in comic book history for a reason. You know?
It's true.
That's what I told a friend, like, that's what I told a friend. They asked me, why do you still like comic books even though you complain about stuff that, nitpick stuff? I don't really talk about nitpick stuff. Well, people keep writing about these characters for a reason. They hit a nerve. Some of my favorite moments in comics are created to teach us how to be good people, but like they say, he should be a good person. Like, I don't know if I want to. For the most part, DC's New 52 was a fucking fail in my opinion. 4 years after the fact, I get it, people. But it seemed to me like, hey, let's relaunch Swamp Thing and relaunch Animal Man. And someone in a business meeting was like, hey, why don't we just relaunch everything as a number one? Because number ones always sell. And that's when sales were also the highest for DC in the last 5 fucking years. Yeah. But they fucked up everything. I don't want to seem ignorant, so I'm trying to get my words in order. But for the most part, it seems like they were going to relaunch Animal Man and Swamp Thing, and during a meeting someone was like, hey, why don't we just relaunch everything as the number one? Because those make money. And like I said, I like the continuity things I want to complain about. That's why I said I don't want to get into it. Because it doesn't matter. Because Convergence happened. Remember how I can't remember what episode I was talking about it, but Convergence happened, and everything that I have, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore. DC continuity is so fucked up at this point, I don't even know how to explain it. And Phil, you even told me, Matt, you're not. I'm only down to 2 DC titles. I'm fucking reading Secret Six. I'm down to a handful of DC titles. I'm reading the main Batman title.
Barely.
You're right, because that's.
Sounds like a barely thing to me.
Well, I've been reading Batman for fucking 5 years. So you're dragging me.
I'm barely holding on to that, damn it.
You're dragging me down a rabbit hole.
Sorry.
You're dragging me down a rabbit hole I don't want to go down. Gail Simone. I love me some Gail Simone. She's doing Secret Six, which is, to be honest with you, I don't read every DC title, but that's the best DC title going on right now. She's also doing Red Sonja for Dynamite Comics. Awesome. Gail Simone is the one fucking link I have to the fucking DC universe anymore. Because they canceled everything. Like I said,
I know.
Section 8's a miniseries, which the last issue's coming out. I haven't had it yet. When I get the last issue of Section 8, maybe I'll do a review of it. But goddamn, like, you're just canceling like everything I fucking read.
I know.
Phil, do you know how many Punisher number ones I have? Granted, that's Marvel, but whatever.
Seems like you get sick of looking at comic books because of that. Like, damn it, that got canceled. Damn.
Well, that's why I quit reading Action and DC comics after the fucking New 52. Because it's they fucked up. It's so the continuity is so hard to follow. I didn't care no more.
Right.
They fucked Alan Moore over on everything he's ever done, movie-wise. But I think if you let Animal, remember we were talking about this. Guillermo del Toro has been trying to make Justice League Dark for a while.
Yeah.
Which is, not gonna happen. But what was supposed to be John Constantine, Zatanna the Magician, Etrigan the Demon, the Swamp Thing. I think someone else, I can't remember. But anyways, it's supposed to be the Magic Justice League, which DC actually did. That's not going to happen either, is it?
Probably not.
We still got the Suicide Watch, though. That's only going to go down in, like, next summer, isn't it? Did you watch the new episode of Gotham, or did you stick to wrestling?
Well, I watched wrestling.
Anything sweet?
No. It's like, no.
What are the Dudley Boys doing? They ain't trying to set up a fucking feud for the fucking next pay-per-view?
Well, they're trying to get a tag team title match.
That's what I thought. I was about to say I haven't watched in like the last 3 weeks. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, they're trying to get a tag team title match with the champions. New Day.
Who are the current champions?
It's New Day. They won the championship back.
Are those the ones that sing all the time?
Yeah. They're so fucking annoying. Yeah, Jamal's in my SmackDown 2 game. That's how I knew he was a scrub. I was like, he's in my SmackDown 2 game. I got that game. And so's Kofi, but that was when everybody... He was a scrub too at the time that game was made, so... And now he's all big... They're all big-timey now. And the thing about all 3 of those characters, the New Day, Jamal Woods, Kofi Kingston, and Big E Langston, they only put them in a team because none of them can hold by themselves.
So they're the new BWL, the Blue World Order?
Kinda, yes, basically. But, since I was talking about that, just take a look at other examples. Remember 3-man band? Heath Slater, Drew McIntyre, and that other guy, Jinder Mahal.
Yes.
Who was apparently Kali's brother. They had something set up for it, but they didn't set it up for that. He was apparently Great Kali's brother at the time.
The Great Kali's been gone for fucking years, though, ain't he?
It's true. He's only been back a couple times, and that was just to, stomp somebody real quick, then, oh, that cashed? Let's get out of here. Basically, so he don't really do any big matches anymore. Or if he does a Royal Rumble, he gets thrown out within a couple minutes. Because he's like, that cashed? Yeah, let's get out of here. Speaking of the other team, it was the 3-man band, and like I said, it was Heath Slater, Drew McIntyre, and Jinder Mahal. And Drew McIntyre now is currently in Ring of Honor. So he went down to the lower scrub ranks under another name called Drew Galloway. And the last time I saw Heath Slater, Randy Orton went on an RKOing spree, and he was RKOing everybody through tables. And he was one of the guys that happened to get RKO'd through a table. And I don't know what happened to Jinder Mahal. But they were 3 superstars that couldn't stand on their own. So what they do, they put them in a freaking stable. A 3-man group. Just like the New Day. That's why I mentioned that.
So Vince, at this point, pretty much just has his hands right around the fucking balls of wrestling.
Basically. And speaking of the New Day, I think they got lucky. For some reason, Vince wanted, black guy champions, and then they switched real quick. Yeah, because somebody beat them, and then they became champs, and then they switched back for some reason. And I still think New Day sucks, but they're the champs, so I guess I shouldn't whine about it.
So the current champs?
Last I knew, they were champs anyway.
Whatever about Spike? Nah, Spike Dudley's probably fucking long gone, ain't he?
I don't know what he's doing.
So what it do? Anything news? Anything diddle the butt? What? In the butt? I said what?
Not really. There is a new Scooby-Doo cartoon.
Phil, you know me too well.
I was going to say, is that what you're looking up?
Yes.
That was the only other thing I could think of. I was like, oh no, he's looking up the Scooby-Doo cartoon.
Have they made a new Johnny Quest anytime soon?
No. I wish. Where's my Scooby-Doo and Johnny Quest crossover, damn it?
Phil, if we're not talking about Johnny Quest, bust stuff, and I don't know, I can't remember what we always talk about, but I know Scooby-Doo was always one of them. Sure. And Phil, there was a trailer for a new Scooby-Doo cartoon. So guess what we're doing?
Not watching it again?
We just looked at the trailer for the new Cartoon Network Be Cool Scooby-Doo cartoon series that is coming out on October 5th. Phil, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think it might be okay, but as far as seeing a couple of the monsters that were in it, like they had a what looked like a crocodile or an alligator. It was a Horus, like from like the Mummy and stuff like that.
They're reusing monsters from the original Scooby-Doo fucking cartoon.
Right.
Don't even lie, dude. That was obviously the Creeper.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
They brought one back.
probably more, but
It's like they brought a couple back.
yeah. Continue with your opinion.
I think it's gonna be okay, maybe. But besides, like I said about them bringing back those monsters, I might not watch it. And plus, the ending was terrible for that.
The trailer. Well, we only see the trailer.
Yeah, the ending in the trailer was terrible.
Let's not spoil that for people that actually might want to look at the trailer. So you're not really looking forward to it then?
Yeah, I'm not really looking forward to it.
I totally agree with you. It looks like they're just trying to do what's new. They're just trying to redo the fucking original Scooby-Doo. And the fucking character designs look terrible.
They did, that's true.
Yeah, that's one thing I know you don't complain about. Phil. That's why I don't fucking like the fucking new Ninja Turtles cartoon. That's why I don't like Beware the Batman.
Yeah.
Hey, that shit got fucking can't. That shit legally doesn't exist no more. But they look like fucking Scooby-Doo. They look like parody characters, right?
Yeah.
They look like they should be a segment. They look like they should be a joke characters on Family Guy, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So you could get away with using them, but they're not technically in because they're off character,
Yeah.
And plus, the main thing I don't like, Phil, is this is the one version of Velma I don't think it's hot.
Yeah, that's true.
Because under them sweaters, she got some big old titties.
It does.
I don't know. Animation costs too much money because it looks like crap, to be honest with you. It looks like to be honest with you, it looks like Aqua Teen Hunger Force. That Aqua Teen Hunger Force parody they did of it. Remember the 100th episode?
Oh yeah.
The characters look flat and stale as fuck, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Are there so many songs about twerking? Shaking your ass in my face. Come on along, jizz on my bones. There's something encircling me. That's a horrible segue into the Muppet Show.
Here's about the Muppets.
I know I'm the only one, right?
Yeah, I think maybe.
Well, there's still an audience for it. They made a fucking TV show and 2 movies out of it, right? Phil, I still have my Kermit the Frog doll from when I was 5. I mean, my Kermit collectible plush from when I was 5.
Like, yeah, well, where's my Elf remake? I'm gonna get an Elf remake.
Oh, Alf. Oh, but Alf eats cats, dude.
Yeah, forgot about that.
Yeah. Does Kermit eat cats?
No.
Oh. And a gnome. They're technically both owned by Disney. Didn't we ever have what's his name? Captain America, Chris Evans, show up on the new Muppet Show, right? He uppercuts Fozzie with the fucking shield. Yeah, I watched the new Muppet Show. If you couldn't tell, did you?
No.
You didn't care anymore?
Nope. I didn't need to watch that. I knew it was gonna suck.
I didn't think it sucked, but Jim has
I did.
Jim has is dead, so you don't care no more, right?
Right.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows?
Actually, when they redid that or whatever they did with it, I was like, why? Yeah, I was like, why? I didn't watch it.
I did. This version of the Muppet Show is not The Muppet Show. I've only watched like 5 or 6 episodes of The Office and 30 Rock, and this is definitely the Muppet reboot of The Office. Which, Phil, to be honest with you, the Muppet movie kind of pissed me off because the humans have more singing and dancing numbers.
Yeah, I remember.
And that than the Muppets. The Muppets are supposed to be the one that's sing or dance. And what the hell was it? Muppets Most Wanted, the sequel. We're doing a sequel. I thought that was pretty good. I don't know. Phil, for some reason, I want my Muppets to sing and interact. Like I said, it's the Muppet reboot of The Office, which this is only episode 1, so I don't know if that's a bad thing. Phil, let's raise Jim Henson from the dead. Klaatu Varata Niktu. Klaatu Varata Niktu. Klaatu Varata Niktu. Klaatu Varata Niktu. Give me the power of... Did it work? Did it work? Now, any movies or something you're looking forward to? Video game, diddle stuff.
Nah. I don't get to play nothing, so I don't care about it.
You're lucky me.
It's all on the Xbox One. I don't give a shit about the 360 anymore. It's all on the Xbox One, man. I don't get to play nothing new.
Waiting for that Black Friday Wonder.
Nah. I'm done console gaming.
But Phil, then Nintendo...
It's the freaking 648 Xbox 360 deal bins for me now. Remember when a game used to be $53. Now they're $63. It's bullshit.
I was say, fuck, Phil, remember the fucking DOS days where you get fucking 5 games for fucking $10?
Hell yeah. 3,000 games, even though they were crappy games.
Yeah, well, say
that's still 3,000. That's holy shit. That's a lot of freaking games, though.
Phil, to get ready for Halloween, what the hell we're gonna call it? Spooktacular special, diddle your butt 3-pound butt plug. I bought that all up. Fuck.
3-pound butt.
Well, so, Phil, for our Halloween special, do you want to set up some who's on who's battle? No, like
Maybe.
Freddy versus Jason, Gamera versus Gawira, Kitty versus Scratchins. Looking forward to anything coming out?
Not really. I ain't been watching anything new, so I don't know what's coming out.
What about Captain America? That's coming out sometime.
I don't think anything's gonna come of that. So.
It's probably only the next biggest Marvel film in the fucking...
Yeah, what are they gonna do? Captain America Civil War 2 or whatever?
Well, actually, yeah, that's
Sequel.
probably... I guess you're right.
They'll have some stupid teaser at the end of it, like every other movie.
You mean every movie?
Just getting annoying, that's all.
Well, this isn't turning out like I thought it would at all.
It's just like DC, they won't do nothing with it.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier, like, why doesn't DC do a fucking Alien Man movie, you know?
True.
Or the question is, Phil, the question. That's one of the greatest characters you could ever do in a fucking movie. But no. We got Punisher showing up in season 2 of Daredevil on Netflix.
Heck yeah, but I hope they don't do it like whatchamacallit, like the Arrow, where he only shows up in one episode or whatever.
That'd be dumb.
It would suck.
Because the Punisher and Daredevil ain't exactly closely tied together, but they are. If they had just one scene, and it will totally make sense to me, or make me love it. At one point, the Punisher is caught in a stairway or something. You know, it's like you're trapped in a hall. You can't go nowhere unless you go through me, kind of situation. And Daredevil says to the Punisher, "I used to think you were a good man who was just pushed too far. But now I see that you're just a psychopath. Mm-hmm. And you were just going to do this anyways. I'm glad your family did not see you as the man you are today." And that, of course, sends the Punisher, Frank Castle, into a I don't want to say psychopathic rage, because he'll never kill a cop, or he'll never kill a good person. If you're a cop, your throat's going to slit. But the Punisher knows that the Daredevil's deep down is a good guy, and he's never going to fucking kill anyone, so he'll never kill him, right? So he just pushes him against the wall. "You don't ever talk about my fucking family." I kind of hope that's in season 2 of the Daredevil.
Hopefully,
because that's fucking awesome, right? The little fucking, I don't know, man. Hey, Marvel, holla at your boy. Give me a project and give me fucking 2 or 3 weeks, and I can fucking make I can take this rough piece of coal and make it into a diamond. I'm fucking gonna make Howard the Duck the biggest thing that ever existed. Same with Deadpool. But that's why I'm looking forward to Daredevil season 2. Because that's what makes these characters interesting. That they're just, granted, Daredevil has like blind ninja people senses, but the Punisher is just a guy that really knows how to shoot guns real good. And that's what makes that interesting. And that's what makes it interesting. Like, I don't want to I want to save my villain versus I'm just going to kill him. You know? Daredevil, the whole thing, have you?
No. I didn't see all of it.
But you know the Kingpin's an evil man, right? Not real to reason with. Okay. So I'm going to pitch you something here. Okay. With that being said, who do you feel is more right? The Daredevil, who will most likely let the Kingpin get away with his crimes forever and ever until he can lock him away legally, or the Punisher, if he can just get his hands on him, will throw a fucking bullet through his head? Who do you think is more just or more vilified? Like I said, the Punisher, or Daredevil told the
Punisher will stop the problem. The Daredevil wants to be Batman and not fix anything. And kind of throw people in jail like it's actually doing any good, and it's not.
So he's treating the Kingpin like the Joker, is what you're saying.
Right. Punisher wants to stop the problem.
Yeah, by putting a bullet through its face.
Daredevil don't want to stop the problem. He wants to keep it going, or he wants to be a Batman and not finish the problem. Punisher wants him to stop.
Well,
he wants to stop the Kingpin.
Daredevil has actually thought about killing the Kingpin before, but he always backs off on it at the last minute.
Right. So, we ain't getting nothing done with him.
And you're right. The Punisher has never been able to get close enough to the Kingpin to kill him.
For some reason.
Well, the Punisher probably has the biggest... Well, here's the thing. Daredevil works in the shadows. The Punisher just shows up. Fuck you! Yeah, no. It's a lot easier. Well, you think it was a lot easier to find the Punisher than it is to find Daredevil, you know?
Right.
But with that being said, I always want to see this scene where Daredevil, you know, because Daredevil kind of has remorse about, he kind of regrets breaking everyone's fucking arms. Where the Punisher doesn't have that fucking problem. You know, I wanted to have a scene where Daredevil's like, oh, there's a warehouse full of mobsters that know where, I don't know, the fucking drugs are or something. And he goes there, but the Punisher beat him to the chase, and he has everyone tied up, and he's gutting a dude. And it's like, where are the drugs going? I ain't telling you shit. Then he cuts the guy's gut open, and he starts pouring salt on. Where are the drugs going? You know, that's why Daredevil wouldn't want to work with the Punisher, because he goes to such extreme. Actually, you know what else would be cool? You know, like after he pulls salt on the guy's open wound, and he's not talking, and he starts saying like, "Well, someone else talk," and he starts ripping chunks of guts out and throwing them at the people that he has nailed to the wall. You know, ripping out intestines and throwing it at people's face. Hey, tell me where the fucking guns are. Hey, Marvel, holla at your boy. I'll fucking, I'll make the best Punisher movie you ever. I'll make the best Punisher movie you ever seen. Get me and Garth Ennis together. MC-17 rating. Oh yeah, Punisher's way better. Begin with, obscure comic book character you want to see. What's the comic book character that hasn't been made into a franchise yet that you want to be made into a movie or a cartoon series? I'd like to see a Lobo, not 52 Lobo, but original 90s.
Yeah.
Big ass fucking. Phil, let me pitch this to you right now, and this already happened. Lobo and Etrigan the Demon, gone, the form of a man, the rise of the demon, Etrigan, have to go to hell because someone fucked up and sent the wrong spirit to hell to reclaim a spirit. And Etrigan the Demon and Lobo are such a pain in the ass, the devil banned them from hell, so they went to heaven. And then they go to heaven and get banned from heaven because they're such a pain in the ass. Make that into a movie.
Sounds awesome.
Holler at your boy. Phil, a 6-pack, a blunt, and we can fucking fix this fucking DC Marvel universe like... I missed my last one. Just clap. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And with that being said, this is the end of episode 21 of We R Podcast. My name is Matt.
My name's Phil, the leader of the Overlord Tank Squad. Thanks for listening to the episode tonight. Hope you enjoyed a lot.
And as always, thank you anyone and everyone for listening. You can follow us on SoundCloud, on YouTube. Leave a question, comment, or email at just the letter R podcast at gmail.com.
This is We R Podcast, the only show where we talk about what we want to talk about. We R Podcast, let the ice house flow. We R Podcast, it's an internet talkie show. We R Podcast, you know the mouse knows. We R Podcast, so look up an episode and that's the show.